You may have realized that being healthy feels different than it did in the past now that you're over 50. If you want to maximize your health potential but don't have time to read through overwhelming pages of Google links, this is the show for you. Welcome to Healthy Tips After 50. We love doing the research, finding solutions, talking to health experts, and learning what works and what doesn't. Now, your host. She spent the last 25 years dedicated to feeling her best and is here to share her best findings with you, Susan Rosen.
Hello, everyone. This is your host, Susan Rosen. And today's podcast is about practicing gratitude and the positive effect it has been shown to have in people's lives. But first, a short detour. As my own way of sharing my holiday gratitude to all of you who've been listening to my weekly podcast, I have opened up my coaching schedule and am offering a free 1-hour intuitive coaching session to anyone who would like some extra care, support, or encouragement during the holidays. And I will give you the details on how to do that and to get on my calendar at the end of the podcast. But back to today's podcast, which is on practicing gratitude. I've always found that practicing gratitude in my own life has had a huge impact, and there has been a lot of books and articles written about its impact physically and mentally on many, many people. I think I even did an earlier podcast on gratitude. It's one of those things that really needs repeating. I was reading an article in the October-November issue of Brain and Life magazine, which is really kind of an interesting magazine, not for doctors and people like that. It's more for people like us. And it was titled, Gratitude Fosters Healing. It was a really good article, and in it there were stories of many people, mostly women, who had physical issues and used gratitude to help them improve their lives and their health. One of those women was a 27-year-old whose parents had relocated from Russia with her when she was 6. She realized after she had grown up how hard her parents' lives had been to provide her with the life she had growing up. Then she developed brain cancer and found that even in that, there was an opportunity for gratitude. She said that, quote, "It reminds me to be grateful for good and bad moments. When I'm annoyed, I'm grateful to be alive, to have that feeling," unquote. There was another woman who has had a long list of medical problems, including a heart attack and devastating stroke within 2 years of each other. Then she had back surgery, and after that was diagnosed with colon cancer. After beating all of that, in other words, the colon getting better from the colon cancer, then she was misdiagnosed with a rare cancer. And during all of this, she started watching a series of videos about gratitude, and she learned how to do breathing, chanting, and meditation exercises. Soon after starting the exercises, it all started to positively affect her whole life. She was motivated to change her diet and start exercising, which resulted in her losing 100 pounds and improving her health in many other ways. The story went on to detail how many other changes she's made in her life due to her gratitude practice. She starts every day by writing down 5 things she's grateful for, and at the end of the day, she writes down 5 more things she's grateful for. So there have been many, many studies during the past 15 years that have shown multiple benefits of practicing gratitude. And as I talked about earlier, it's not necessary to be happy or healthy. Many scientists have shown that gratitude practices increase overall happiness and life satisfaction. And it increases optimism, enthusiasm, joy, and other positive emotions. So it's good for our bodies as well because it strengthens our immune system, lowers blood pressure, and makes us less bothered by the normal aches and pains of life. I read in one article that grateful people sleep better. They get more hours of sleep each night, spend less time awake before falling asleep, and feel more refreshed upon awakening. So if you want to sleep more soundly, count your blessings and not sheep. I thought that was pretty good. I didn't come up with that. Gratitude strengthens relationships, promotes forgiveness, and makes us more helpful and compassionate, which applies to kids, adolescents, teenagers, and adults. Teachers who practice gratitude have been found to feel less emotionally exhausted and more satisfied and accomplished. So with all of those positive and valuable benefits of gratitude, what I also learned is that human beings of all ages need to learn how to be grateful. It's not something that we come out of the womb knowing, but I bet you already kind of guessed that. But if their parents, relatives, and or friends are grateful and practice gratitude, the kids can tell how much nicer it is to be around those people. They will want to know why they feel a difference when they're around happy and grateful people versus being with unhappy and ungrateful people. You can start noticing that difference yourself, and you'll understand why you enjoy certain people's company more than others. That also works the other way around now. If you start practicing more gratitude in your life, you will find that there are more people who like being around you. It's a pretty easy formula that not only increases your happiness level, but that of your family, friends, and coworkers. The bottom line to all of this is that it's very easy to start a gratitude practice. You don't need anything other than the intention to do it on a regular basis. So create your own gratitude statement, which can be something as easy as, I am grateful that I woke up this morning, or I am grateful for my family, or my spouse, or my dog. You can say that same thing every day, or you can say something different. The important thing is to get out of your head and feel it in your heart. Be thankful and grateful for something, really for anything. You can even say it when you see a flower growing in the ground or in the cement, even more so. If you just start with one or two things, you'll find that it will soon blossom into a huge change in how you feel about yourself and your life. Try it for a week and then see if you can do it for a month. And then let me know how it's changed your life, because it will change your life. So at this point, I will say, please remember that I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. And if you are having any kind of medical issues, please go see your own doctor or to the nearest hospital if it's an emergency. Okay, so as I promised at the beginning, there is a link to my coaching calendar in the show notes where you can schedule a session for a day and time that works for you between now, which is the beginning of November, and mid-December. For those of you who don't see the link in the show notes, the link is healthytipsafter50, all one word, which you should know, .com/holiday hyphen, which is the little flat hyphen. I don't know what else to describe it. Session, and then session. SESSION. That's it. Holiday-session. And that should take you to my coaching calendar. And I will be very happy to help anyone who signs up for a session. And I am very grateful that all of you come and listen to my programs and my podcast. And I just want you to understand that I am trying to also share with all of you my coaching practice, which I have been working on and developing for the past year. So that's it for today. And as usual, I will look forward to talking to all of you next week.
This has been Healthy Tips After 50 with Susan Rosen. To stay on the cutting edge of the most effective health strategies, subscribe to this podcast and let us know what you thought of the show with a comment or like on iTunes. Visit healthytipsafter50.com for this episode's show notes, more resources, and free offers.